What if I told you that there were products that you could make year round that would sell year round, even when the Christmas holiday season has wrapped up and sales slow to a crawl? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you a simple CNC project that you can create. In fact, I'm going to give you the files for free. But in addition to showing you how that I would make it, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I actually market and sell this particular product to keep it popular all year long. All right, stop. I almost made a mistake, and this is what I always do. For these clocks, since I'm cutting out the back of the clock and I'm cutting out the pocket to actually hold the clock and then cutting it out, it's best to actually cut it out on the back side. I've already cleaned this off and sanded it on the front, so I want to flip it over so it actually cuts it out from the back. All right, so once we have avoided that problem, let's load up our project and get started here. Now I'm using a Onefinity Woodworker Elite. I'll leave a link down in the description. Now this is a very simple CNC project. I'm using an upcut bit, and all that I need to do to begin with is create a pocket that's about 0.6 inches deep, and this just needs to be big enough to hold my clock mechanism. And remember, this is the back of the clock. In addition, I'm going to put a hole all the way through that will be the location for the mechanism to pop out the other end. Then we just simply have a profile to cut out our clock. And that's all there is to it. This only takes about 10 minutes on your CNC. From there, we just need to cut out the tabs and sand it. I'm not going to worry about showing you the sanding. You get the idea. But I will show you that I am going to break down those rough edges and the little bits of fur that may be left over on the end of the clock once it's cut out with the CNC. I keep an old piece of sandpaper around for just that purpose. From there, we're going to move to our laser engraver. My laser engraver of choice is the WeCreate 45 watt. I love this one. There are a couple of really cool features in it. Number one, it is enclosed, which is nice for a diode laser. Number two, as you can see right here, you can actually position your design right on your workpiece because it does have a camera located in the laser that'll make sure everything lines up perfectly. So that is a huge deal for me. Now, this WeCreate is my go-to laser that I keep on my desk, and I'll put a link down in the description if you'd like to check it out. From there, we autofocus, hit start, and we're ready to go. And this is actually the longest part of the process. Takes about 45 minutes with the settings that I have on there. So that does take a little while, but it's not a lot of active work. From there, I like to use shellac on these. I will use 5 coats of shellac, and I'll use a very fine grit sandpaper between them to get that nice butter smooth finish. In fact, the last couple of coats, I'll just use a piece of a paper bag to break down that shellac and get rid of any imperfections on there. All right, once the shellac has had time to dry, then they're ready for the mechanisms. Now, the mechanisms themselves are pretty simple. They just go in the back there like that. The ones that I use are relatively inexpensive. I think they cost around $4 a piece, and I'll put a link down in the description if you need to pick some up. But you can get more higher-end mechanisms if you like, but because of the fact that these are typically going to be high school gifts, I try to keep them a little less expensive. I got about a total of about $8.50 or $9 in each one of these. And with the time and the labor that goes into it, I sell these for $50 each. Now, what's great about that is that when people buy them, they typically buy them in packs, 3, 5, 10, because they're getting them for their coaches, for maybe their seniors, for retirees, for any number of purposes. And then in addition, people will come back to me looking for plaques or for honors. Maybe it's a big hit winner on a football team, or possibly the leading scorer on a soccer team or something like that. But getting involved with booster clubs or student organizations are a great way to have that income year round and have projects that are constantly being requested. And one other variation to the clock that I'll mention that is a cool idea came from a friend who came to me when she was getting married. Instead of having a registry that all the guests would sign when they came in, Cassidy asked me to create a large clock for her that just had her name and her fiance's name, but then all of the guests signed the clock when they showed up for the wedding, and now that clock actually hangs on their wall. So that was a really cool idea for taking, again, a simple idea like a clock, but putting a unique spin on it to make it popular for more people. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did get some value out of it, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. That costs you absolutely nothing, but it tells me that the work that I'm putting into these is valuable. And with that, if you'd like to see some of my other favorite CNC projects, check out this video right here.